Hey guys, welcome to my first video on Unity beginner tutorials. Today on our first video in the introduction to C#, we're going to be having our first topic as variables and how they work and what you can do with them. And variables are going to be the most essential thing to your code if you want to go further on that code actual games and stuff like that. So I'm going to start off these beginner tutorials just assuming that you know your way around the like UI and stuff, so the game, and like you can look at all these and stuff like that. If not, then I probably will be doing another mini series on just different windows, stuff like that. Alright, so what we're first going to do is we're going to create a script, and we're going to use string variables first, and we're going to print them just out into this console right here. So first, what you need to do is right click in the project menu and go up to create and C# script, and you can call this whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'm going to call this first script, and then just open this up in Visual Studio or MonoDevelop. Doesn't matter. MonoDevelop is defaultly installed with Unity, but if you want, I don't mind which preference. Let's just load it up now. Alright, so when you go into your C# script, this is what it will look like. You have to keep these basic, using system collections and using Unity Engine and the class, and always make sure that this equals this, the script name. That's essential, or the whole script won't work. So first we've got here is a void start, so anything inside this will happen as soon as the game runs, and anything inside this, so void update, will happen every single frame. So what we want to do in here first, what we want to do here first is, out of all the voids, just create some room, and we're going to create our first variable. So what we want to do is just type in public, so we can use it throughout the whole entire, so we can see it inside the window just on the side. Then we're going to use a string, and then call it whatever you want. I don't know, hello. So that's what the string name will be. Oh. Alright, yeah, sorry about that. Just did a little hiccup with the with my script, just accidentally close it down. Alright, so where we've written public string hello, what we need to do now is we need to go in update or start, doesn't matter. However, if you do it in start, it will only just play the string once. If you do it in void update, it will do it in every single frame. So we're going to do it in every single frame. So all we need to do is do print lowercase p brackets, and then no quotes, but just the variable, this name here, which I named it as hello. And then when we've done that, just do a semicolon here. Then if it's not spaced out, it should space out there, so it knows that it's the full good sentence. So when we've got that, all we need to do is just save off, Control S, or file save, but I can't do that because I've already saved. It's just, there we go, made a change, there we go, save. So now we just need to go back to Unity and then we need to create a game object that we can assign this script to. So I'm just going to create it empty. You can create a cube, sphere, capsule, slider, cylinder, just anything in here except from WinZone 3D text. Actually, no, you could, yeah. But I'm just going to create an empty game object. So what this is just like, it's kind of nothing really. It's it's literally just nothing. We usually use these as you can use these as like filtering things as well, so you can put stuff inside a game object and stuff, because it's empty, it's absolutely nothing. All it has is a transform, which every single thing has. So I'm just going to zero that out. And I'm going to put in our first script, drag and drop into the game object, or you can just go in add component, scripts, and first script. So now what you can see here is we've got hello, which is our script name, and we've got like this little bar here with text. So this is our string value. So whatever you type in here will show up in the console. So we're just going to type in, I don't know, hello with a lowercase h. So then you can see how the variable name is different to the variable value. So when we've typed that in, all we need to do now is just save off just in case, and just press play. And as you can see down here, it's constantly going every single frame, 200, 300, and if you want to just collapse this out, there you go. And now you can see that it's going constantly. So what I did there, which is actually a good thing, good little tool in the console, is if you press this collapse button here, it only says it once. It just says a number here, so it's a lot neater. Say if you have a lot of debug lines in your game. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to change this variable type to a game object instead. So this will probably get more advanced stuff right now, but it's still easy. It's still a one line of code. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to add a new script. Add a new variable. So just public, and then instead of string, we're going to do game object, and make sure it's a capital game object with a capital G instead of a lowercase. That's something different. So look, the game object this component is attached to, component is always attached to a game object. However, this is a base class for all entities and entities. This is like for a variable type instead of, and this is like grabbing an actual game object, like an object in the game. So I'm going to use this one, and you can just call this I don't know, just going to call this a game object, like that. We're just going to sorry, it just doesn't seem to like having the game object, so we're just going to have this as a Unity object. Perfect. And then when it's done, this could be like a greeny blue, and then just a dark blue like that, and then that's kind of shows that it's good. And then if you hover over it, then it should say that right there. But if it's an error, so if we add say lowercase g, then it goes red, and then it says that it does not exist in this current context. So that means that we can't use that type of game object in a variable. Okay, so then we've got that now. What we're going to do in start is we're actually going to do a set active. So what this is going to do is it's going to make sure this is going to like define if this object is active or not, which is really easy. So what we have to do is the variable name, which is Unity object dot set active. Make sure it's a capital S, capital A. It should auto correct to there, and then we're just going to do brackets and then false. There we go. So just save that off. So now what this is going to do is this is basically the same. So this game object is gonna be set active to false. And what the set active is, you can actually manually change this. I'm going to use this for now. In this little tick box right here. So this can set if it's active or not. So now, if that was a cube, you cannot see it anymore, and it does say if it's attached to any script or anything like that. It's just, you can still see it, but it's not active whatsoever. Even if you're trying to call it from another script, it just doesn't do anything. So what we're going to do now is just to prove that it's set inactive, we're going to get a cube. So it's a create 3D object and cube. So now we can just leave it like this. So now, as you can see there, it's completely gone. So now this is, but if I disable this mesh renderer, you see that it's gone as well. However, there's still some lines. This is actually the box collider. Now, if you have, now this does not actually mean it's disabled. It's still there. You can still call it. You can still give it scripts. Now, this mesh collider is just what you see, so that you can see white. See, if I put some texture on that, then you still won't be able to see it. The box collider is like, say if you run into it, you'd stop, or you maybe go through it if the collider is disabled. So that's, I just wanted to make sure that disabling both is different to this. Now it's completely gone. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into game object with our first script on, and now you can see a new variable called Unity object, which is our variable name, and now a non-game object. So now what we need to do is we need to drag and drop our cube from over here and put it in there, and you can see the cube name, and then you can tell that it's in there because that's the name of it. See, if we change this to Unity object, then it would have changed in there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to just zero this out, and then we're just going to get onto the camera. We're just going to zero this out as well. But if you want to focus on something like I did, just like that, you just need to double click on it. Double left click, so say if I'm like over here, then run, oh, where's the camera? Just, oh, sorry, mouse just stopped working there. Just double click, and then it zooms right onto it. So then, what we're going to do now is just push this back a bit, so you can see it. Now you can see the camera preview that I'm now seeing it. Right, that's about right. So now when we've done that, all we need to do now is just press play, and then it should disappear. There you go, cube is gone. And then there you go, look, set active false, which is pretty good. Okay, so our final lesson today is calling variables from another script. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new script. I'm just going to call this second script, and just open this one up. Now, the way that we call second script, the way we call this script to this script, so we can access these variables, is by creating a variable called this script name. So public first script, and then whatever you want, just first. Script. And then what I've done there with the variable name actually is I've done what is called camel case, and this is just a good way to differentiate from like the capitals from the lowercase. It's just better, and it's just also easier as well, just in case if you're getting like multiple variables in a game. Alright, so we've done that. So now we can access the first script variables. So if we do first script, which is that variable name, not this. So this one, see how I'm saying, because if that was a capital then it would be both. So the first script variable name, which is this one, dot, and then if we go down, you should be able to see hello. That's one of the string names that we got earlier, and also Unity object. So we can access these variables, which is pretty good. So what I'm going to access is the hello. So what we're going to do now is so when we've got the hello is I'm ready to do equals, and then quotes, and then whatever you want in there. I don't know, like hi Unity. So we've got that. We go back in, just clear our console out. Oh. You see, it's gone, and it still says hello, which we don't want, do we? And it is because, as I said earlier, we're setting the Unity object false, and that Unity object contains the changing of the first script. That's what I was saying earlier, how anything that tries to access a Unity object that is false, it just won't work. So we can delete this if we want, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do a double // which sets this to a note, just like this. So it doesn't actually, it's just a bit of text in the code. It's usually used to either maybe cancel something out for later use, or maybe use for this, or what this is, which tells you what the void update means. So void is called once per frame. So now when we save this and go back in the game, it's just loading up, and press play. There you go, it says hi Unity, and it's now saying that because it is now getting this, and it is changing this first script variable hello to hi Unity. Alright guys, so that is it for my first Unity tutorial video. If you want more, then just leave a like and comment and subscribe, and then I'll carry on this series. I'll go very far, and I'll answer your guys' comments, see if you want some suggestions, or maybe some more different Unity tutorial series, or maybe just more videos, you know, different type of. I don't just do Unity videos. I play video games, stuff like that. So yeah, see you guys later. See you in the next one.